What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Pauly B TV. It's been about a week since I made a video. It's good to be back. As the title of the video states, the time Bible camp got ruined. So this was like 10 years ago. I think this was 2014. And I was going to Grace Baptist Church in Racine, Wisconsin. They had an event every year called Big Chill, which is where 6th through 12th graders go to this Bible camp. I think it's in Lake Geneva. So I signed up to go to this Bible camp. It's my senior year in high school. I was either 17 or 18, like I said. And I know that Joe Sard is going. And I know this one guy, Charles, is going. Now, this guy, Charles, was a nice guy. He was always cool to me. Charles never did anything wrong to me. But he got in trouble a lot. So, at church and outside of church, too. So I know that Charles is coming, and this guy Nate is coming. Nate's also a very nice guy who gets in trouble a lot. So we go on this trip, and we all get on the bus. And I remember on the way there, my buddy Mudflap, got into some argument with this guy over something. And Mudflap's gotcha comeback was, "I'm gonna beat you in broomball." Broomball, not my favorite comeback ever. Broomball is a game we played at church camp, and it turns out there's a story for that too. But, we get to the camp, we eat, and then they're like, "Oh, let's go skiing." Or not skiing, sledding. Let's go sledding. So there's this big snowy hill. This is in Wisconsin, in the middle of a snowy winter. There was this massive sledding hill. So we go up this hill, we get our tubes or whatever, and we're sledding for maybe I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I remember feeling super cold, obviously. And then as soon as I walked inside to eat dinner, I got super hot. And I was like, why am I crazy raging hot right now? And I was like, I don't know, whatever. I'll go sit down at the dinner table. I go sit down at the dinner table, and everybody looks at me like, "Whoa, man, are you all right?" And I was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "What? I feel okay. I'm a little hot. What's going on?" They're like, "Dude, your face is beet red right now." I was like, "For real?" They're like, "Go to the bathroom and look." And I walked into the bathroom, and my face was as red as a tomato. It looked crazy red. It looked like a dark, not even dark, just a deep red, like a fire engine. It looked like a fire engine. And I was like, what is going on, man? Why do I look like this right now? So I walk out, and I was like, I don't know what to do, guys. And they were like, well, we don't know what to do. So I guess eat dinner. I was like, all right. So then I ate dinner, and I eventually calmed down. So, but then we were going to play broomball later. And these kids got into a physical altercation. They started hitting each other with their sticks over to somebody being mean in a game. And they ended up wrestling in the snow, and we had to stop them, just kid stuff. But then nighttime came around, so this was at the end of the camp. This was the last night. We were gonna go home the next day. Nobody got in trouble so far. Everything's been smooth. We got a little out of control with the wrestling. I think somebody hit a cabinet because we were wrestling up there. But everything was fine. Nobody got in trouble for anything. So everybody goes, it's free time. And I think everybody was like, oh, I'm going to go watch this movie, or I'm going to go do this prayer thing, whatever they were doing. But I just was like, you know what? I'm just going to chill. I'm tired. I don't really want to do anything. I think I'm just going to chill up here on my bunk and hang out on my phone. And everybody's like, all right. Well, we're going to do all this stuff. So everybody leaves, and I'm sitting there alone in the whole camping area, or the dorm area. And I'm just chilling. And then I'm sitting there for 15 minutes. And then all of a sudden Charles walks in and Nate walks in. And I already know, it's before they even say anything, I know exactly what they're going to do. They're either trying to smoke pot or they're trying to drink. Because I know these guys. So I don't say anything besides what's up. I'm like, hey, what's up, Charles? What's going on, Nate? They're like, "Oh, what's good, Paul? You know, what's happening, man? We're just hanging out. You know, can we, we got to be honest with you. We're trying to smoke weed." And I was like, "Oh, well, all right, man. Like, I'm not going to say anything. I've never been a snitch. In my whole life, I've never been a snitch because there are so many things that I could have gotten snitched on for that would have gotten me in serious trouble." Hold on, I'm going to drink some water real quick. And because of that reason, I never snitch on people. So they were like, you're not going to say anything, are you, man? And I was like, no, I'm not going to say nothing. If you guys want to smoke pot, that's on you. So they're like, all right, for sure. All right, we got to make a bong. So they were like, they're trying to find stuff to make this bong. So they found a Red Bull can and a pen. And, they made a homemade, really crappy bong. And I'm sitting there watching them make this bong, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, I have no idea what's going on. So they're like, all right, hey, Paul, we're going to go downstairs, and we're going to go smoke, so, that's it. Don't say nothing. I was like, I got you guys. That's cool. So they're gone for like 15 minutes, and I'm like kind of bored. I'm just like, man, maybe I'll go walk around and see what everybody's doing. So I start walking around downstairs, and I'm like, I wonder where Charles and Nate are. So I'm looking around, seeing if I could find them or find anyone. And I'm like, well, no, I'm not really seeing anybody. So then a couple of guys walk in, and then the pastor walks in, our pastor. And his name's Chris. So Chris is like, okay, I need all the senior guys here right now. Everybody, no, they said go up to the room. They were like, I need all the senior guys to go to your dorm right now. Everyone immediately. And I was like, oh, I wonder what this is about. I wonder what's happening. So, because, it's clearly obvious they were going to get in trouble. We're in a church camp. You guys are doing bong rips in a church camp. It's, there's really nowhere to hide. It smells really heavily. So we all walk upstairs. And everybody's there, and everybody's like, what's going on? What's going on? And I was like, oh, I don't know. And then Charles looks at me, and he's like, hey, Paul, you know what's going on? And I was like, nope. He's like, all right. He's like, you don't know anything? I was like, nope. So I'm just letting him know I'm not going to snitch. He's good. I'm not going to snitch on him. So then the pastor walks in, and I know, I wouldn't do this today. It's not good to lie to pastors. I'm a Christian man. I can't be doing that. So, but at the time, the pastor walks in, and he's like, I need everybody to stop what you're doing right now. Do not bring anything. Leave everything. And everybody walk out and go downstairs to the gym. So we do it, and they're like, we're searching your guys' stuff. And then they walk away, or the pastor walks away. So then Nate goes, dude, I got bottles in my bag. And I was like, brother, you guys brought weed and liquor. One wasn't enough. We're here for like a weekend, dude. You guys, we're going to get, now we're really going to get in trouble. Like the whole, okay, so they go search the room. I guess they didn't find his alcohol because they didn't say anything about that. So everybody's sitting down in the gym. And the pastor, Chris, is like, okay, something happened. We're not going to say what it is right now, but we're going to go into the office, and we're going to interview everyone one at a time. And once we interview you, you go back up. You don't talk to anyone else. So I already know exactly what they're about to tell me. I know exactly what's going on. No one else knows what's going on besides the guys that did it and me. And I'm like, okay. So everybody goes in. It's taking forever. And Charles is hitting his vape. As we're getting, we're waiting outside for him being in trouble, he's hitting his vape. And tobacco products, vapes, anything, is not allowed here. You're not allowed to vape or smoke anything at this church camp. And he's sitting there chiefing on his vape, and he knows he's not allowed to be doing it. But every time they tell him to do it, he says, I'm 18. So I walk in the office and the Pastor Chris is there, and I sit down, and he's like, "All right, Paul, something happened. Somebody was smoking marijuana," and I was like, "Oh!" I remember going, I did like a sound like. I completely overreacted. It looked like I knew something and I wasn't saying anything. I was like, well, I don't know anything. I was like, I don't know anything, Chris. I don't know what happened. That's messed up. Nobody should have been smoking pot here. That this is a Bible camp. Who would do this? Like, so he's like, yeah, I don't know, man. Well, go ahead and get out of here. Everybody comes up to the room. Nobody says anything for the rest of the night. And the next morning at the chapel service, Charles got pulled out of chapel and got in trouble for smoking pot and doing bong rips at church camp. Some things just happen naturally. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. It's good to be back. Speak with you again soon. Peace.